Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. It's been such a lazy day for me that I just almost I nodded off for the intro here. But here, welcome back. This is Reverend Eliot coming to you live from the city of New York, just at the end of August. And well, I've had a very lazy day. I caught up on one of my favorite chores, which is called sleeping. And I had an awful lot of stuff to do today, and I didn't do it. I figure I'll do it tomorrow. Why not, right? It's that's what tomorrow is for. I, oh boy, see what I mean? I'm just tired today. I'm just beat, and yet I look forward to doing this. This is my favorite thing to do, and I'm going to be doing more, not of this on Ask One Radio, but a corollary program, which you can look at my website, magic-works.com, or it's at the top of the page for the 10 Lost Books of the Prophets.com. There's a little teaser there for something new that I'm going to be doing. And it doesn't involve tarot reading, so it doesn't conflict with this, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy doing it. And it's about communicating, really. That's what it is. And that's what I enjoy doing. I look back at my work career and I see that almost everything I've ever done was a form of communications work. That's unavoidable for me, I suppose. But I've always liked it. I built a little radio as a kid, and I enjoyed sending transmissions out like to a quarter of a block away. But there you go. It's now I'm covering the world, so that's a bit of a growth there, and I like it. So what we're going to do tonight is get through the magical window. Go look through the magical window, which is what I call the tarot, because the tarot cards, which used to be quite a common thing in people's lives, there was no shame in using a tarot reader. There was no concern. It was always considered normal, and it was something that people just did, and then it kind of fell off the map. It became goofy. We started relying on psychologists, I suppose, after that. But tarot lets us see things. Now, the regular watchers here and listeners know that tarot lets us see things that we don't normally perceive, and that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it a magical window. Now, that is not an overstatement, because you can look into this and see all kinds of stuff. I mean, just last week's show, for instance, I looked in there and I said to a young lady who was calling that there's a card that indicates the birth of a child, and she told me she was expecting a child. So you see, that's how they work. Is it scary? It could be, but anything we don't understand can be scary, and this is something we don't understand. There's so many books written about how it works. It's, these are archetypal images, and a series of images can explain everything. No, it does. This is very specific. I remember one of the first card readings I ever did was for a woman, and I said, according to this, you were married 9 years and you were divorced. Now that's pretty specific. And she said, yes. Now, this isn't a person who's just willing to agree with everything I say. It turned out that I got to know this person quite well. And yes, she had been married for 9 years and then got divorced. Hey, listen, look at this. I, my- I wondered what happened to my medallion. Where did it go? It's hanging in here somewhere. Well, I don't think I have time to pluck that out at the moment. It's coming out through the button. See, I'm sloppy today. I'm really sloppy today. This is the day that I shouldn't be carving meat, that's for sure. You ever have one of those days where you just want to rest and relax? Well, I do find this relaxing, but sleeping is my thing these days. I went to sleep last Friday and I woke up Monday. I woke up Sunday morning. Now that's creepy. If you can sleep and miss a whole day, then there's something definitely not working properly. So I do want to look into that sometime, but not now. This is going to irritate me. This is one of those silly little things in life, But there it is. It's my little medallion, and it just seems to be stuck there. So Let's see what we can do to make it look a little less unstuck. That's right. Reverend's Eliot Magical Fashion Faux Pas. That's what we'll call the show. But there it is now. You can get medallions like this one at my Zazzle store, which is a lot of fun. Get over to mojoacademy.org and you can either there or you see I'm losing track of everything today. Either there or magic-works.com. I think it's over at magic-works.com. You can check out my occult jewelry. Take a look at that. There's some wonderful stuff there, and it's very modestly priced. And generally, there's a sale going on. So you check the website, and if it says 15-20% off, take a shot there. It's like I said, I'm not doing this to maximize income. I just enjoy doing it. So this is a nice end of the summer. We'd never needed the air conditioner here once, not once, not even. We have fans that also blow cool air out by using a mist of water, and we didn't need those this year either. It's been very temperate, and I enjoy it. I've done a little bit of walking this year. I mentioned I got my old walking stick out. In my 30s, I was wise enough to get a nice solid walking stick for the day when I'm an old guy, and I'm an old guy now, so I do use the walking stick. Now the thing is, I don't use the walking stick out of like feeble bones or anything like that. It's because I have trouble with one eye, and that means I can't balance very well. It didn't expect that. I know that I lack depth perception, so there's always a cleanup in aisle 4 when I go to the store. I can knock over a display faster than you can say Jack Robinson, but I no, I am not. I'm not comfortable walking without being able to see completely. This is New York, you know. This is where we famously we look both ways before crossing a one-way street. That's how you can spot the New Yorkers anywhere in the world. That is an observation from a wonderful comedy writer and performer named Barry Berry. Said quite easily that you spot the New Yorkers anywhere you go because they look both ways before crossing a one-way street. And that is the truth. So now here we're going to be looking across time and space. That I can do. That's easy. I've been doing for years because it doesn't take any ability. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of knowing what the cards mean and interpreting them, especially interpreting them next to what's standing with them. You can learn more about this if you're so inclined in a lot of, gosh, go to any bookstore has a tarot card section, but what you won't find there is probably the single best, most honored tarot book ever written by a man who can't put on a chain. That's and it's called Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. It's a book I dedicated to you, the audience of this show, and it explains all you need to know to get going as a tarot reader. And it has started several careers. So please, I advise you to get that. And maybe you'll have a show here on Ask One Radio too. I advise that. This has been a game changer for me. You know, you're not going to believe this. I'm basically a very shy person. Yeah, I know, but I got over most of that. The book Reverend Eliot's Magical Window can be found at mojoacademy.org or at my eBay store, which you'll find a link to at mojoacademy.org. There's links to it all over the internet. Just look up Reverend Eliot's Magical Window and you'll see. There may still be links up there claiming that it's available at Amazon. It's not. I dumped everything from Amazon because they're a pain in the posterior. That they made life so difficult that I just, you know, when they started offering me ways to address it, I hit the road, Jack. You know, that's me. So take a look at that. Now, if you want to read a very good book on doing tarot that I didn't write, I'm very ecumenical here. I recommend if you can find a copy, and I think places like Thrift Books might have it, eBay may have it, by Emily Peach. Yes, that is a real name, Emily Peach. and it's called the Tarot Workbook. That is dynamite. The first half of the book is a beautiful breakdown on reading tarot cards. The second half of the book, it might take you a couple of years to get into that, because that is a look at the overarching esoteric philosophy and the tree of life and things of that sort. But it's well worth it. Please take a look at the tree of life. You know, I have a spare copy of that. I may just list that myself. The tree of life, the tarot workbook by Emily Peach. Please do that, because the first half is beautiful, and the second half, when you're ready, is just what you'll need. So give it a shot, okay? Now we're all shuffled up. I've got the cards ready. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times to get us into sacred space as I pull back the magical curtain on the magical window. And our first caller is Brenda in Gainesville, Florida. Hi, Brenda. You are on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi,
Hi, Brenda. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. What can I look at for you?
I don't know. Just give me like a general, maybe.
Okay. I was going to make some kind of silly joke about the army, but you know, gotta restrain ourselves here. People call me in good faith,
Mm.
and they don't want to be joked with. So let's see what we get.
Oh, I don't care. Go ahead and joke with me if you want to.
Beautiful. Are you in the market for romance? And this is not a personal. This is
Sort
a
of. Yes or
professional.
no, but not really.
Okay. Well, this is a professional
Yes,
question.
like.
Well, sometimes it comes whether we want it or not, and you do what you want with it. But I have the Knight of Cups. Cups are affairs of the heart, emotions, and it's telling me that's the appearance of something new. Now, keep in mind that the Knights are
Oh,
pretty much hypothetical. It's not quite as solid as the pages, but but it means that that an opportunity for romance will be coming your way. Also, there's going to be
okay.
changes in your life. That's the Wheel of Fortune. You're
Ooh,
going to love
nice.
this. Now, the changes will be good. Right now, I have the Two of Swords for your life, overall life situation, which is a card of
Mhm.
feeling kind of stuck where you are. You're not moving, and you're not getting anywhere. Do you feel kind of
Exactly. Yep.
okay? Well,
Mhm.
now the card that I mentioned, the Page of Cups, that would mean the actual appearance of romance. That's the next card here.
Oh.
See, I no
Oh
sooner do I
wow.
get
Okay.
done saying it's not the Knight of Cups is not like the Page of Cups. You get the Page of Cups. Now, to me, this just shows
Right.
me that the tarot cards are not only alive and sentient, but they're sarcastic, because they're telling me,
Right.
don't speak for us, pal. We'll speak for ourselves. So yeah, the change in your life that's going to shake it up a little bit is going to be something emotionally satisfying. If it's not romance, it'll be something else that you find quite emotionally satisfying. Uh, you the Ten of Rods here tells me that you're feeling that you're under a great burden and a lot of stuff that you've got to do. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mhm. Yep.
Well, the 2 next cards should get to you, because one is the Star. That's a card of hope and optimism. So, keep your chin
Wow.
up. And the Ten of Swords is here. That is a very ugly card, but it's one of the nicest cards in the deck. It shows a person lying
Okay.
face down in the mud with 10 knives in her back. Now, the point of that
Yeah,
card,
I know. I know the card.
okay, there you go. It means you're going to get up again. It means that life threw its worst at
Yeah.
you, and you're going to be fine. So you have a very
Okay.
optimistic, uplifting time coming, with some good stuff emotionally happening. So
That's
embrace
good. I
it.
need it because it's like very draining and everything.
The Hermit is here. That means you'll find an advisor, maybe somebody to help you out. And the Justice card is here.
Okay.
That if somebody has done you wrong, it's going to be righted. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So that's you're entering a very good period. So keep that in
Good.
mind. Anything else you want to
Okay.
look at? Or is that about it?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks a
Thank you
lot for
so much.
calling. My pleasure.
Okay.
Bye bye now.
Bye.
And you see, this is what I go into this in my book that I was telling you about, Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. The idea that the tarot cards may just be alive. Now, that's a silly thing to a lot of people, but science is starting to come around to the idea that maybe, just maybe, the universe is alive. The universe itself is a sentient being. The sun is alive. This is stuff that is like next generation philosophy meeting science, because what are we but matter? And yet we think and we're alive. It's more than just alive. Is the universe conscious? Is the sun conscious? And they say that it's quite possibly yes. The planet may be conscious. They keep talking about how human beings are damaging the planet and the planet is going to kill off the human beings. Well, that sure as heck to me sounds like a conscious action. If you don't want to have around things and people who are hurting you. I don't anyway. That's why the Lord in his infinite wisdom created divorce lawyers. But there you go. I don't want to harp on that again. I've been very happily married for 40 years. There's an old joke too. I've been in love with the same woman for 40 years. My wife finds out, she'll kill me. But no, we've been together 40 years, and it's been what a ride it's been. And we survived being in business together for 20 years and thrived, and we never had a fight over business. We may have had a couple of arguments here and there monthly, but we certainly we get along, and we enjoy each other's company. And there's one of the things I enjoy doing is just spending a nice quiet day at home with my wife, who you will find, oddly enough, on, you knew I was going to do this, on my new shaving soap. There'll be an announcement about that when that comes out. I have a shaving soap for the needs of hair removal for the lady, and I have her picture on that label. So that's an homage. Homages now and then make life easier. So keep in mind that consciousness may not be exclusive to animal life. Animals do have feelings, when I was a kid, we had a German Shepherd. You'll find a picture of that German Shepherd in my blog, the post that's up there now. Give it a shot. Go to magic-works.com and click on my blog, and it'll get you there. And that dog was a beauty. German Shepherds are excruciatingly intelligent, and I had not seen that dog, oh gosh, for maybe a good 10 years. And by the time I saw it again, the dog was old, and as a lot of purebred German Shepherds, was lame in the hind legs, so it was difficult getting around. But the minute that dog saw me, it started whimpering, and it dragged itself over to me. And I know that dogs don't have tear ducts, but the liquid was flowing from the eyes. And it just came over to me. That dog just came over and planted his head on my legs, and it knew me, and it missed me. It was quite obvious. It's very funny how that happens. Now, animals, we agree, have consciousness. The degree to which they have it may not match what human beings have, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because I do think we overthink. There, how's that for a conundrum? I think we overthink. But if the world is conscious, if the planet itself is conscious, if, as Zorba the Greek said, rocks are alive, if the sun is conscious, if the ocean is conscious, well, the ocean, how can that be? It's just water. Well, your brain is mostly water, and they tell us that's conscious in many people. I don't know about all. So that's something to think about. That we're not just shuffling through a stone valley here. That could mean buildings develop consciousness. Maybe that's what haunted houses are about. There's consciousness everywhere. We're surrounded by it. We should. It would be very good. I don't like to say should, because I don't believe in shoulding on people. I believe that it is good for us to treat the world like a conscious entity. That's all. Jody in Knoxville, Tennessee is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi.
I have a cat. His name is Socks, and I am taking to I am taking him to the vet tomorrow. He has a skin rash on his back. I don't know if it's a tumor or what it is, but he has a skin condition which is bad on his back.
Mhm.
What do you think? What do you think is happening? May I hear from you?
Sure, I'll take a look. But of course, the main thing is you're doing the right thing. You're getting professional care. So take a
Okay.
look because
I
cats
I
can be
have
very
neglected
gentle.
him so much. I have neglected him in taking him to the vet. I've I'm trying to get my health situated and back to normal again. And I just need to know what's going on with his skin condition.
Well, the two cards I have here are one is the sun, which means health and healing and growth and happiness. But the key thing here is healing. So that applies to both of you, to socks and to your own health, I guess. And the Ten of Cups is here, which indicates a happy home. So it looks to me like things will work out okay.
And will Socks be okay with his skin condition?
Well, the
What is it?
indication
What is
here
his
is that
skin?
the indication here is it'll be treated because the sun indicates healing.
Okay. Um, so is it cancerous? Do you think, or is it a tumor? Do you think?
That's pretty much beyond what the cards can show. You're doing the right thing, going to the vet. So let the vet handle that and ask the vet ask questions there. A lot of people are reluctant to ask questions of a medical professional. I'm not. I've caused a
Okay.
stink in hospitals where one doctor looked at me once and said, "Well, at least we know you're not a passive patient," and I
He's my
say
first. He
nobody should be.
he was my first cat, and I love him. I love him dearly. I have neglected his health and not looking and not taking care after not
We
taking
had
care of him
we had a
properly.
cat here for many years who was a psychotic. I see, very a crazy animal. He'd love to have people pet him, and if you stopped petting him, he'd attack you. So it was. We warned people to be careful, and we never replaced. When his time came as a very old cat, we never replaced it. Because it's
They're
it's not
part
like
of the
getting it.
family.
Yeah, it's not like getting a new frying pan. You know exactly what I mean. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm getting positive signs here. So I'm hoping that that's a good outcome. Okay,
Okay. All right. I sure appreciate it. Thank you
my
very
pleasure.
much.
And
Thank you.
I will light a candle and send positive energy for you and socks. How's that?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye, Jody. And let's shuffle them up. Yeah, this cat was really something else, and he used to attack me when I first started showing up around here. So it would go for my ankles. So I hid by a door frame, and when he came by, I sprayed water on him and hissed. He never bothered me again. I think he realized I was a member of the tribe at that point. But these things, these animals have definite personalities, and they're not always likable. But that's like people too. We haven't we all known people who might be kind of interesting and nice, but they just are not likable. They just push you away, and I've learned over the years at a very great price that when people tell you you shouldn't get too close to me because I'm crazy, they mean it. You know, they, they just take their word for it and let it go. That's the best thing you can do because people are compelled to tell the truth, which is a fascinating thing. Read a story by Edgar Allan Poe called The Imp of the Perverse. That is a marvelous piece of work. And we here in New York, we used to be assigned that in the fourth grade. Now, you may think it's kind of cruel to prescribe Edgar Allan Poe for fourth graders, but the point was to teach us how to use a dictionary because that man had a wide vocabulary. And the thing about Poe is that if he couldn't find just the right word for what he wanted, he made up a new word. Now, a lot of nice words came out of his work. Tintinnabulation is one. What's his name? Look, I can't believe I'm referring to what's his name, right? William Shakespeare. Take a look at all the expressions and the phrases that William Shakespeare created by the skin of our teeth. Things like the green-eyed monster. There's hundreds of things that he neologized, to use a $4 word. There's a funny old joke. Well, funny, it depends. There's an old joke. Let's leave it at that. I'll leave the value judgment out. About two old women, neighbors. They're in their 80s. And one is talking about Shakespeare, and the other says, I've never seen a Shakespearean play or a movie. And he says, you're kidding. I am going to get tickets. We are going to go together, and we're going to go see Hamlet. So, oh, wow, you're never too old to have a new experience. So they go to see Hamlet, and this is the woman's very first exposure to Shakespeare. And her friend says, so how did you like it? And she says, well, to tell you the truth, it was too full of quotations. That's all you need to know about Shakespeare, because he's endlessly quoted. I don't know who has contributed more book titles than Shakespeare. There's movie titles, book titles. The great Ernst Lubitsch film, To Be or Not to Be, which was remade in the loosest possible use of that term by Mel Brooks, because he wanted to give a classic movie to his wife, Anne Bancroft. An admirable goal, but please don't mess with Ernst Lubitsch. This was an almost perfect filmmaker, and there's so many. For Whom the Bell Tolls is John Donne, I believe. It's not Shakespeare, but it's up there. All the great titles. A great book by Richard Matheson, who is probably the best writer but you don't know. Almost everybody's favorite Twilight Zone episode was written by Richard Matheson, and he was just sensational. Well, he wrote a book that was turned into a movie with Robin Williams, which was such a bad movie that the stunning plot twist, and I mean stunning plot twist in the book, they put it in the commercial for the movie. This is why I put in my time as a Hollywood writer, but I was never part of that culture. I just couldn't be. It just was not possible. So the book is called What Dreams May Come, which is from Hamlet. For in that sleep, who knows what dreams may come, from the soliloquy of To Be or Not to Be. And it is a marvelous book, and it is from the beginning to the end. It's riveting, unlike the movie. Trust me, if you saw the movie, try to get it out of your head. Find the book. The book starts with an old lady knocking on a door, giving somebody a manuscript and saying, your brother wrote this and he wants you to have it. The guy says, what are you talking about? My brother is dead. She says, I know. Please take it from me. It's just brilliant stuff. And Matheson, again, look him up. He wrote everybody's favorite Twilight Zone episodes, with possibly the exception of the Happy Perfect Day, which is about the little boy who sends people to the cornfield. But look him up sometime, and look up the movies that Richard Matheson did. There's a peculiarity. Richard Matheson books make terrible movies unless he writes the screenplay. I have one now I have lined up to take a look at, which I haven't seen in years, called The Legend of Hell House, from a book that will scare the pants off you. So, Matheson wasn't always scary. He wrote what became the movie Time and Again, Bid Time Return, the Christopher Reeve film. It's okay, but the book again is marvelous. Matheson was a real treasure. And later in life, as an old man, speaking again, so you can always start over, he started writing Westerns. And his very first Western was called The Journal of the Gun Years, and it won the Golden Spur Award as the best Western of the year. So, you know, this, the man was so brilliant at communicating as a writer that I just can't even fathom that I was trying to be in the same league as he was, which of course I wasn't. He also wrote a wonderful book called I Am Legend, which was ruined four times by movies. There was a movie called I Am Legend with Will Smith, which had nothing to do with it. Pardon me. There was The Omega Man with Charlton Heston, and there was The Last Man on Earth by Vincent Price, which is an anomaly because Matheson wrote the script for that, but they ruined it. They made it better. They made it better. A director, a very good director, a theater director I worked with once, had a friend who had a production company in LA called Better, because that's what they do. You end up in a meeting with them, and that's why you have to say, well, better. So, I am about to put up another blog post, which encompasses some of my experiences in the film business. So you may find that interesting because Irving Thalberg, who was the head of MGM in his brief life, said everyone in America has two businesses, their own and the movies. And by gosh, can't beat that. So now let's go to Trinity, Texas for Sarianne. Hi, you're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I am all right, thank you.
Well, let's see if we can make that a little better as we've come to the halfway mark in the show. What can I do for you? What can I look at?
Well, I would like to know how is my next month look like?
Your next month looks like, let's see, that's a valid question.
That's a valid question.
Yeah, I'll shuffle them up. I
That
used
would
to
be
get
great.
I used to get an awful lot of readings done for people at the end of the year, looking at the next year. But I really slacked off last year because of illness, so I'm hoping to do that again,
Oh,
which is why I cut my prices in half. Okay, here we go.
oh,
Well, it's only fair because pardon, geez, why does this happen to me now? Let's see. Oop, hang on a second. I'm going to take some water.
okay,
Showing
no
once
problem.
again that I'm only human. There, I always keep some
That
water handy.
that's right.
Good. That better not be vodka. That's all I can say because I don't do that anymore.
Oh no,
No. So
those things don't mix.
no. The before my first marriage, I met her uncle, who was a former Marine who was a portrait painter, and he liked vodka and water. And they said, just be prepared to make him a vodka and water. And I was so pleased to do that. And I made him a vodka and water when he came to visit. And he said, that's very nice, but could you maybe not make a water and vodka next time? You make it vodka and water. So I was very naive in those days. So the first card I have for you is the Ace of Swords. Aces are new beginnings. Swords are mental activity. You are coming into a new way of seeing the world. Do you feel that happening?
Yes, I'm very spiritual.
Yeah, well, it's coming. That you are, and the King of Swords is here also. So the Temperance card is here too. Now that's important because these
Wonderful.
cards tell me that your mind is coming into focus. You're coming up with new ways of thinking. The Four of Rods is here, which means you'll be very happy and secure. Things will be good and peaceful. And the Temperance card is if your life was out of balance in any way, it'll be restored, that balance. That's very important to know.
Yes.
I have the Devil card here, and this is what's odd. The Devil card is not a great card. It's not like Satan or anything. But the interesting thing is, I don't read upside down cards because there's plenty of meaning for all of these. But this card somehow in the deck was upside down. So it's even better. Pardon me. It means you're going to be free of bad influences. Speaking of vodka, you're going to be free of you're going to be free of controlling people who try to control you. It's a very good sign. You regular listeners and watchers will know that I don't do upside down cards. They just don't happen, and yet there it was in the deck. So I have to go with it. You're a very spiritual person, you say? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got this card here, the High Priestess. That tells me that you have mediumistic tendencies, that you can speak to people on the other side of the veil. So
Yes.
that's very good. Next month is going to be a period of mental growth for you and positive change. That's how I see it. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you want to look at?
I am traveling next month. I was wondering
Okay.
that everything goes well and it's going to be a pleasant trip, or I don't have to worry anything.
Do people have pleasant trips these days? I see people fighting at the airport all the time. I see riots breaking out on cruises. I
Yeah.
see people getting shot on the road. I mean, to me, a pleasant trip is going from one end of the apartment to the other.
Right, right.
Let's see what we have here. Well, you know, the Seven of Rods is here. That tells me that you're a person who can sweep away obstacles. You don't let these things get in the way. The Death card is here. It means the beginning of a new period of your life. Now that's obvious to see, because you're changing the way you think and the way you see. Something is going to happen on this trip. It's not going to kill you. You know, it's going to herald the beginning of a new phase in your life. This may turn out to be the most important trip you ever took.
Well, I like that.
And there's a card here. This is the the eight rather. Oh, silly me, the Eight of Cups. That is a person who moves away from things that aren't working for her and going to things that are. And
Yes.
that's part of the period that involves. See, it all goes back to the swords, that your mind is growing and expanding, and you're going to be doing very well. It sounds to me like you're eager to enter a new phase of life, so that's good.
I am.
I've always had to be dragged kicking and screaming into those, so it is no fun for me. Now I'm going to disappear for a second down here because I dropped a couple of cards. Very
Oh no.
yeah. I'm very
They
clumsy
gotta be
person.
an important card. They gotta be an important card because you dropped them.
Well, yeah, they are. Look, the main card is this one, which is means that the bad times are over. If you've been having bad times, yeah, no more cards on
Oh,
the floor. That they're over.
yes.
See, this is very important, because this is all, and this may have to do with the trip you're taking, because that's what's coming up. Your mind is expanding. You're entering a new phase in life. Any the bad times are over and good times are on the way. You know, this is really something. You know, it's you may have a very clumsy card reader here, but your cards are not clumsy. How's that? So let's cut the deck one more time and see what we have. Oh, the Page of Coins. That tells me that there's a new income stream coming your way also. More money headed your way. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic.
So keep me posted, because anybody can contact me through my websites and or through Ask One Radio, or that's a whole way. Just Google Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. You'll get my email address. You get everything. So keep me posted, because I would be happy to pull a couple of cards for you when you get back, and no charge, of course. We'll just consider that an extension of this reading. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I like what I heard. That was wonderful. I'm thinking about it. I'm praying that something new coming in my life in that trip.
Oh,
We'll see.
look, let me give you one more card here. It's the world, the world. Yeah, assured success. That's what that card is. Assured success. You're going to be fine. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thank you for calling. And
Thank you.
we'll round this off. I just want to do something here that might embarrass somebody, but too bad. I was talking about movies and all that, and how insane it all is. Well, for my money, there is only one active person writing about movies these days who's worth reading. And I have had a couple of setbacks lately in terms of health, so I've fallen way behind. But I want you to read Scott Ross is his name. Now you can. The easy thing to do is go to my blog, which you'll find at magic-works.com, my blog, and or later today go to my Twitter account, Rev Eliot at Rev Eliot at Twitter X, and I'll put up a link to Scott. He's a very talented playwright, produced, highly acclaimed, just absolutely brilliant, and it's so worth reading what he writes. If you like film at all, and you don't want to be bored to tears by a cineast who will say, well, the thing about Citizen Kane is that the sprocket holes were aligned a little differently. No. You're not going to get that kind of tripe. You're going to get witty and insightful, as opposed to inciting, commentary on films. And I maybe you can help me urge him to compile these into a book. The man is extremely talented and is, again, the only writer on film I will read now at all. That's Scott Ross. You go to my blog, Reverend Eliot's blog, you get a link at magic-works.com. Look at my blog, click on that, and on the side there's a list of other links. At the top you'll find his blog, which is the film criticism. So please take a look. You will thank me. Janice in Lee's Summit, Missouri is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi, Eliot.
Hi, Janet. How are you? Janice. I said Janet. Yeah. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm doing well. What can I look at for
Good.
you tonight?
Just where my life is headed,
Oh, that way. Right. Let's see. It's a funny thing, It's Israel Regardie, the esoteric writer, used to say, and this showed up on Law and Order a few times. The Sam Waterston DA character used to say this. There are certain indications, which I have written about somewhere on my webpage, that occult workers have been writing Law and Order. Just as an example, there was a show about a New York real estate developer with a big ego, and his name was Keys. Now, the tarot cards are also called trumps, and the trump cards are referred to as the keys. So you see, that's not a coincidence. You see. Well, what Israel Regardie used to say is, life's a funny old dog. So I gave up long ago trying to see where life was going, because it's always, I've made plans and something else comes along. So here's your outlook, though. The Six of Coins, that's a card of getting money. It could be philanthropy. That's what it generally is. It could be money that you are owed. It could be money that you didn't expect that you're earning. But that's a card of getting money. Look at, there's a smile on the guy's face as he's handing out the money. And that's good.
You hear my smile?
Oh, yeah. And the next is the Knight of Swords. That means, again, the sword is a mental activity. There's a lot of this going around, and I get a lot of these early sword cards. Developing a new way of thinking and a new way of seeing the world. And a lot of things have happened lately that are forcing us to change how we conceive of the world and things like that.
True, very true.
And many of us resist it at our own peril, but you're not going to resist it. It's there. It's going to come for you. The Star is here. That's a card of hope and optimism. The Knight of Rods is here. See, knights are beginnings, and that's money. The rods are work. Rods are career. There's going to be
Okay.
new options coming your way in terms of thought and perception and work. The
Okay.
Four of Coins is here. It's telling me that you're very good at marshaling your financial resources. That you're not profligate with money. That you can handle it. You can make a dollar stretch. And the Eight of Rods tells me that all this is going to be happening very soon. Now, the next card is very important. And then the card after that is boring because I've already had it 3 times today.
Oh
The
no.
Fool is your card here. The Fool is a great, great card. That is a card that means the person is the Romani people say the person who gets that card is the beloved of God. Had there been anything negative in your reading, that would have wiped it right out. That was my feeble attempt at
Okay.
finger snapping.
Okay.
You say sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Does
uh,
it? Okay.
this is the card that a lot of people have been getting tonight, and you've got it too. It's the end of
Oh
troubles.
Lord.
It means that the
Oh,
worst
thank you, Jesus.
life has thrown the worst at you, and you're still here, and you're going to get up, and you're going to survive it. Because and according to these cards, you're going to do more than survive. You're going to thrive. You're going to be very happy. That's what this card is. That's the Nine of Coins. And that's a person who's satisfied and happy. And another page. Now this is important because it's the Page of Cups, and you've got 3 pages here. 3 beginnings. 2 of them are knights, but the page is more
Okay.
definite.
Right.
That means that something very good is coming your way in terms of emotions and feelings, maybe even romance. But it's overall, it means that emotionally things are going to be very good for you. So you're entering a very good period of time in your life. Balance will be
Oh, thank
restored.
you.
That's the Temperance card. The Emperor card here shows that you're going to be taking charge. This is all very good stuff, and I think you're ready for it, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yes, I
Well,
do.
here it
Yes.
is. If you've been working to get there, you did it. You succeeded. Okay. I
Mm.
just cut the deck, and there's one more card here, which is the Three of Coins, which indicates that a temporary position, either a new assignment or a new job, that's a temporary thing, but you're going to do so well because the threes are about completion. You're going to do so well that it will lead to other things. So keep that in mind. That might be where the
Okay.
new money stream comes from. So
Okay.
you're going to be you're going to be fine according to this, and you deserve it, don't you think? It's been a while, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
So just keep in mind that this is going to happen soon. Yeah, I don't normally do timing, but you had that
Okay.
card of the rods, which shows the rods landing. They're in the air in an
Okay.
arc about to hit. So it's coming very soon for you, okay?
Okay. 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 Oh, that's wonderful news, Elliot. Wonderful news.
Thank you so
Elliot,
much for
can I
calling.
ask?
Well, I've got to
Okay.
run. The clock is calling me out of here. So,
All right. All right. Thank you, Elliot, for the reading.
send me an email, okay? I'll be happy to do that. Okay?
Okay, great. Okay.
Thanks. Bye-bye
All
now.
right, Elliot. Bye bye.
And we've come to the end of another edition of Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. And I think I showed you these last week. Look at these. These are so cute. These are teeny weeny little tarot cards. Yeah, I bought these so many years ago, and they're barely touched. It's the Rider-Waite deck, which is the most popular deck there is, and I just don't like yellow that much. So I have the Albano Waite deck, which was from the 60s, where they recolored those. If you're interested in the history of the cards, check out the Encyclopedia of Tarot. I believe you can get them as PDF files now because they were grotesquely expensive. They're very big books, though. I'm not saying that they're overpriced, but they're costly, especially since they've been out of print. But they're from US Games, which makes tarot cards, and it's was a wonderful is a wonderful company that was run by a great man named Stuart Kaplan, who did so much to promote tarot cards, and he is sorely missed in the world of tarot. But that's it. That's it for this month. Yes, it is. I'll be back in September. See you in September, as Brian Hyland so wistfully sang in 1958 or whenever the heck it was. I'd say I'm dating myself, but I don't think I'm good enough to date. So there you go. That's me. We will be back again until we see each other next week. Check out mojoacademy.org, because you'll find links to all the books that I have, and they're all available at a nice little 15% discount from the printing plant. You can get them through eBay also, if I can get off my butt and continue listing them, because I don't have many listed there now. And I know last week I said I would, but for a guy who doesn't do much, I get very tired. But that's the nature of my medical condition. It's a bit exhausting. Although that's not to say that I was ever a bundle of energy. Although when I look back in my life, I see there was a time when I was working maybe 2 or 3 jobs at a time. But we do what we have to do, don't we? So, hey, look, keep an eye out for what I'm going to be doing soon on YouTube. You can see a teaser at the homepage at magic-works.com, magick-works.com, and I'm pretty sure you'll find that of interest. And that's about all I have. You know, I've got to get to the post office tomorrow to mail out a few books and mail out a few shaving soaps. This stuff. It's going well. I never expected. I mean, I wanted to make an inexpensive shaving soap because the inexpensive shaving soaps died during the inflation we had over the last few years. But I didn't expect it to be so good. I mean, it's just, who knew? If I'd known I had a knack for doing that, I'd have done it years ago, trust me. But I'm doing this, and it's like $4.99 per tablet of soap, so it's reasonably priced. I'm not out here to make a killing. I'm just here to help guys shave. And now there's a new one coming for the ladies. Keep an eye out for that. So until we get together again next week at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific on the Ask One Radio Network, remember, who you are is the universe's gift to you. Who you become is your gift right back to the universe. Remember, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. Where do you want to go, and what do you want to do with your life? So until we meet again next week, have a great time. Bye-bye.